Look at that. Oh, look at that. Let's swing out. Rambling shot. Hi, Daisy.
Hi.
There's my girl.
How many people have their ears all still covered going la 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 la, no spoilers because of Star Wars? Admit it. Who hasn't seen it?
All right, I'm done with this. Oh, I just got angry about that yesterday. Oh, by the way.
How do you figure you got angry?
Morning Mountain Camp first.
Oh yeah, the Morning Mountain Camp. Let's go. Brio Technologies, your experts in lighting, sound, and visual. It's dark and there's lots of lights.
But it's nice. It's crisp.
Well, it's not hideous and hazy. I know that snow did that at least, so at least we don't have air we can chew anymore. So that was exciting.
Over the weekend, got more comments on Facebook. Thank you very much about the my elf adventure, Elf on the Shelf, which is great, and I really feel like I'm heading the right direction. Here we go. First of all, the two elves showed up on the doorstep, and
that was your first mistake. Whichever neighbor tried that.
Never done it before. Just scroll. See, I didn't keep going. It just scroll through when you got them.
Just move on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. That was horrible. That was nutcracker. Yeah, that's that. I thought possibly, and you think now, oh, it's over, and it's not. It's not over.
I actually did kind of. Oh, it's when he's flying out of the Honda that just seems so wrong. You didn't even have any snow to like.
Now, I had the whole weekend to think about this.
Oh, that's
And one
good.
of those, they hate each other because this is what you end up with. You see, he's strapped on dog biscuits.
Really? You just threw him right in front of Gil, our dog, didn't you?
Oh, you want to see Gil waiting?
That's great. No, you didn't.
Oh, yeah.
That is so mean.
Oh, gosh.
Gil's like, come on, Britt, let me in, let's do this,
I'm hilarious.
Yeah, you're like a laugh freaking riot for sure.
My brother's an architect. I do crap like this. How was that speeding ticket this morning?
It's fine.
How fast? Don't lie. Don't tell the truth on this one. Don't.
No, I was going 85. He gave me a 5 over. No, this is much better.
What lane were you
I
in?
actually asked him, I said, hey, can you tell me the last time I had a speeding ticket? Because traditionally I would get one every year, and they would stick me with that poor kid out at the fairgrounds and go, this is Collard. Could you please not get another one this year so I don't have to take your license?
When she asked him, when's the last time he had a Post-it note on his windshield, he took it off.
No, it's been 4 years.
Ah. Do you have to go to school now?
No, I can just pay a fine. The points don't matter now.
Oh, there goes your Christmas. I have succumbed to the cold that I have avoided in our house.
Succumb to the cold.
I'm now broken down and have the man fever. That sounded weird. Yeah, so
I think it's the men flu. The phrase.
Took care of you. I took care of Zoe. Zacchaeus kept separate. It was like all working out. It was like great. And then I woke up this morning with a sore throat and boogers.
That would be because your daughter keeps trying to kiss you repeatedly on the lips.
Oh, I'm so kissable.
Zoe is typhoid. Zoe, it's just.
Man.
But this is children. They don't want to be away from you when they're sick. They want to run to you so they can throw up on you in the comfort of your arms. We all know this.
Zoe will.
I can't count the amount of times. There's been at least 3 I've had like vomit down my back and didn't know it for like a half an hour. It's like, yeah.
I saw it. I just don't want to break the mood. Zoe will saunter ever so slowly and cute like across the room and then get right up in your face and go, why?
Because she's a bad child. She's your bad child.
Just
Everything about her is your
bad,
responsibility.
yeah.
No, you were completely, she's your responsibility.
All right, Star Wars over the weekend. We did go to the
I
movies.
feel so bad
We
for
saw
the...
Ferdinand.
Now, we thought we were going to be so smart. We're like, we're not even going to try to see Star Wars this weekend. It's going to be a beating. So we're going to go take the kids to Ferdinand. Because if you've ever read The Child's Story, it's an absolutely beautiful story about the gigantic bull who loves the flowers and just wants to sit under his cork tree. And it had John Cena, and it was rather adorable. And every corporation in the world had rented out all of the theaters, and it was...
You're not even going to the movie, but yet you have to wade through humanity.
It was like hell on earth. It really was.
So that's where I got sick.
Yeah, maybe that was because you rubbed up against all of humanity.
All right, so here's the deal.
So,
and then I get home and I'm on Facebook, and all of a sudden it's like spoiler alert, and then they start talking about the movie, and it's like I start.
It's been out for 23 minutes. Stop. Yeah.
Who likes spoilers? What normal person likes spoilers? Because it's like, if you haven't seen it yet, I don't want to know. Do you? Oh, the Titanic. You seen the movie? It sinks.
That one's kind of a given, though, babe.
But, okay, so people haven't seen it, don't want to read it. People who have seen it, it bores them.
No, because then they want to
know.
argue about the spoilers and say, no, that's not the best spoiler.
And keep putting it out there for people who haven't seen the movie yet, which is the majority of us. And I just think it's rude when somebody goes, oh, you want to know how that ends?
I only did that once with a Harry Potter movie, and I slipped accidentally, and I felt terrible.
You
I really
should
did.
feel terrible.
I really did feel bad because I'm sorry, because I know it's okay.
Because you go to say something, and on the show.
Although I would like to point out that it was the same as the book, so I figured everybody's read the book. I didn't know it would be so as bad, but I shouldn't have done it.
What was that movie that the guy was falling in love with someone, and at the end they find out he's a man?
The Crying Game.
The Crying Game.
Now that's one that would have really messed it up.
That's a heck of a spoiler right there.
That was a big spoiler.
That's kind of a mood breaker for some.
I think it's one thing you would like to be prepared for.
Yeah.
In advance, there might have been a discussion before clothing had been removed.
Right, this is true.
And that might have helped.
All right, so watch this. Take a one shot of Erin. Todd's going to blow his nose in 3, 2,
That's classy.
1, go.
Okay, the Road Home fundraiser is up and running, and this is so important. The Huntsmans, God bless them, started it off with a $1.2 million donation. This is one of my favorite things. $1.2 million.
That's nice.
John Huntsman Sr., he's lovely. Now, this is really, really one of my favorite things in the world because we used to do this with our old station. And the more you learn about the Road Home and the homeless shelter and what they do, it's like so moving and it's so important. And here's one of the things that just crushed them last year. And I'm not going to say she did it out of spite, but Mayor Biskupski suddenly decided to announce on the day the fundraiser starts that the Road Home depends on for their entire year, that she's opening up 3 new shelters. Now, it would be easy for people to misconstrue and go, oh, well, there's new shelters, so I don't have to donate, so that's great. And their numbers were down by half last year. The money they depend on to feed and clothe homeless children and
they didn't even know where the shelters were going to go.
Yeah, she just chose that day to announce it, which seems very strange.
She also, as far as I know, didn't talk to the Road Home because they've actually been doing this. And if they're going to plan the new shelters,
you would have thought they would have
consulting,
maybe brought them into the concepts. Yeah. So anyway, they are in desperate need of the money. It very much goes to everything that they're doing. Their Women and Children's Family Shelter is up and running in Midvale. There is every bed is filled every night, and if you do not think that there are infants in arms walking into there right now, you are wrong.
It was like 3,000 the other night.
I remember broadcasting there once, and this woman walked in, and her 5-year-old was wearing her slippers because she didn't have any shoes. She was wearing her mom's slippers. Yep. So it's like, if you can donate, this is the perfect time. And if you cannot donate money, diapers sizes 4, 5, and 6, formula,
volunteer,
clean winter clothing, clean and still usable. I saw a lot of like raggedy, holy things going through, and I'm like, they can't use that. No. You got to give them things they can use.
And did you know that?
And you can always volunteer.
Did you know that the average stay at the Road Home is 4 days?
And then they have them plugged into other services and on their way to somewhere else.
Or they get on their feet and they can get back and they can do that. I mean, 4 days. Because a lot of people go, well, you're just living off the fat of the... No, 4 days. If you've seen... And they got kids.
It takes 1 day to be down there to go, no, you're not living off the
fat. You want to have your heart broken down at 7200 South where the shelter is. And the old one is there and it looked like a warehouse. Now they have a nice facility. But I used to go there and I'd go to Winco and I'd get some diapers and I'd drop them off. And so the hard part, it's at the end of the day and cars would drive up. And a guy would get out with his family and he'd walk them to the door and men aren't allowed. So he would either get on a bike and ride away or get in a old beat up car and drive away. How sad is that?
There were guys who would be sleeping out in the parking lot in their car because they couldn't go into the shelter, but they wanted to be near their families. So, I mean, they do such good work, and they can make that dollar stretch like you can't imagine. So if you can donate, this is the time. And please just think about it because it would be so wonderful.
You know, a lot of people this year are starting to think about saving money because they have none after you're done.
Yeah, there's that.
Holiday season, we tend to kind of go berserk.
Yeah.
And Uber is helping people do this. Now, first of all,
This is the weirdest.
Uber Eats, right? Let's go through the process.
Now, Uber Eats is their latest thing, and this is where they actually will go to restaurants. They will grab the food and they will bring it back to you. And
you order, pay for it.
Yeah, there's restaurants that already have an operating agreement with them, so they know that they got to rush in, have it ready to go, so it's hot and on its way. And
right. So that gives an opportunity for someone to make money. You can get the food to yourself, and you don't have to wait for a delivery guy, which takes like forever.
Or a lot of restaurants that don't deliver, and Uber will deliver for them.
Exactly, and they're making relationships with the different restaurants and stuff like that. The newest thing is that people are deciding to use Uber instead of ambulances.
Now, I'm sorry, if you're having chest pains, I'm calling an ambulance. But there are people who went, and I see the logic, they go, an ambulance is $3,000. Now, by now, because of our boys, we must know like every ambulance driver in the entire state, and they're all wonderful, amazing people. But yeah, it's true that they can come and they can attend on scene. But if they take you to the hospital, it is $3,000. Which my sister found out with my niece Emily's broken fingers. She was literally 6 blocks away from Primary Children's.
$3,000. Yeah, but that's kind of funny. You could stop and get food on the way.
Yeah, because
Uber Eat.
You could snack because it's going to be hot and cold and miserable up in the waiting room, and the food's not good.
So funny.
Yeah.
And ambulances, ambulance, but the fire department's ambulance, where they're hardcore, they can actually administer like heavy duty stuff and do that. That's amazing. And so they're expensive too, but at least there's 8 guys and they're all helping. So there you go. All right, let's get some information, shall we?
Let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people. You, however, can get your credit back on track and a reliable automobile by calling 801-921-9819. And also, always Black Friday. I love these guys. I just got Todd's birthday present, Christmas present for 75% off.
What is it?
It's up in Ogden. You got to check it out. Always Black Friday.
Hey,
also, by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. If you want to give Uncle John a call, he's got a heating special. He can come and make sure that your furnace is up and running perfectly so that you're saving hundreds of dollars in energy costs.
What is it?
That is allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my darling, what's going on?
Good morning, guys. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Monday, December 18th on GephartDaily.com. The Millard County Sheriff's Office says a 49-year-old man died Saturday while diving at Meadow Hot Springs in southern Utah. The victim, identified as Shane Stewart, was found several feet below the surface after a deep dive into one of the pools. Would-be rescuers from the Millard County dive team tried to save Stewart but were unable to revive him. The investigation into Stewart's death continues. A man who smacked into a couple of cop cars while fleeing Unified Police Friday morning is behind bars. This after officers spiked his tires during a high-speed chase late Sunday night. 39-year-old Harley Gregory Welsh was spotted by the Metro Gang Unit around 11 p.m. behind the wheel of a stolen car. Police gave chase before spiking Welsh's tires. He ultimately came to a stop near 3950 Southwest Temple Street, where a canine officer put the bind on him. And a Unified Police officer assigned to Taylorsville High School used his taser on a student Friday morning. Police say the 17-year-old male began physically threatening the officer when he tried to keep the student from leaving the school grounds. The teen had allegedly balled his fists and was moving towards the officer when he was tased. The student recovered a short while later and was released into his parents' custody. And time now for the Wasatch Front forecast, brought to you by our ultra-cool new sponsors at Brio Technologies, home of Utah's numero uno top-shelf audio-visual company. With 1 week to go before the jolly old Fatman makes his annual visit, we've had just a dusting of snow here in northern Utah. But not to worry, there's still hope for a white Christmas. While highs in the next couple of days will settle in the mid-40s, we'll see a whole new storm system making its way into Utah Wednesday. High winds will give way to snow flurries and some pretty cold temperatures come Thursday, and there's more precipitation heading into the weekend. That's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
About always Black Friday, but
What'd you get me?
You really do have to stop. You can't keep asking that the whole time I'm talking.
What'd you get me?
But I had to go up the minute we talked to these guys because they had ridiculously good prices on things like Beats by Dre, all the really cool wireless headphones, amazing stereo stuff. They had drones, and when they were talking about it, I was thinking that is so interesting. I've got to go up and try it out and just see what everything what they've got. And they've got some things that are like crazy high end, like beautiful spider jackets that are $300 off. They have little things like the Beats by Dre that are like 50% off, that are like totally affordable. They've got insane amounts of like stock, and they're always restocking every 2 seconds. So it's really funny. You never know what you're going to find. So, but I found Todd's thing when I was checking out with these great sheets, and it's this thing I've been looking for forever for him, and it was beautiful,
and it rhymes with.
And there's no way I could have afforded it before, but it was 75% off, so I could actually afford it. It was very, very exciting.
It's a Scottish present.
Now the store is up in Ogden. It's always Black Friday. Take a little water, drive up, get off, take a look around, but they always have something amazing. But for Christmas, you cannot beat some of these prices. So this is the time to check in. AlwaysBlackFriday.com.
All right, I would like to tell you this on this next story.
Yes.
I think you're lying.
About?
Well, the story, because it's about Amazon.
Amazon Prime. Now, Todd and I are Amazon Prime affiliates. We
look at us.
Well, no, but we
we
use it on our website and everything. So we talk about them a lot, and we like.
Not an advertisement.
We'll review products for them and stuff. So this is not an advertisement for them at all. Okay.
But I think you're lying on this because this is just scary to me.
YouTube user Rob Bliss recently published a video on how he used Amazon Prime Now's 2-hour shipping to deliver gifts and essentials to homeless people.
What?
Now listen to this. The video, if you want to check it out, is called How to Hijack Amazon Prime Now for Good. But he was asking, like, homeless people, what can I get you? What would help you, survive? And people were asking for sleeping bags or warm clothing. So using this special shipping service, Bliss ordered the gifts, entered the street address, and it described exactly who the courier should be delivering the packages to. So true to their word, Amazon Prime Now had couriers out there within 2 hours delivering the needed goods and essential services to the homeless people. Now, it's not affiliated with Amazon. It's not an advertisement for them. But the cool thing is, though, is that Amazon Prime Now is something new they've been rolling out with a lot of cities. And literally they can do it. Now, they said even with just plain Amazon Prime with the 2-day shipping, if you give them a specific enough meeting up point with and the person has the code or the order number, they can still deliver it to them.
That is nuts.
And I thought that was such a great thing.
You know what that's like? This is like you're running down the street, right? And all of a sudden you trip. Now, you kind of go in slow motion. You get your phone. You go to Amazon. You order a large pillow. Now, you're still falling. You're still going. And you hit send like this. And then all of a sudden a van pulls up screeching its tire. A guy runs out and he puts the pillow down and you land on it. That's the future of Amazon.
Pretty much at this point, I think it's a given. I just thought that was so cute. And the fact that he was like, I just want to see if I can do this. And sure enough that it worked. I mean, that's amazing to me.
Did you see the latest picture from Christopher's Prime Steakhouse that our listeners?
Oh, I know.
Oh, my gosh.
It was Scott and Amy, right? They were the winners?
Friday night they went there, and this is our thank you for tuning in and watching
they looked so happy.
This.
I know.
And they looked all dressed up, and they were like really happy. And now I'm really hungry.
We're super happy for you too, because we're sure that it's great.
They said hi.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
A picture by them stuffing their face with a bite.
Yeah, there was a big piece of steak, but it was delicious.
How do you do it?
This is very, very simple. We want you to have an amazing holiday dinner for 40. We want you to reconnect with people you love, and all you have to do is to enter to win is to simply comment on the show today. Maybe you're watching on Gephardt's Facebook page for Gephardt Daily or Gephardt Approved, or maybe you're watching on the Todd and Erin Facebook page. Just drop a comment, boom, you're entered, and then we draw again on Friday. It's just that simple.
All right, coming up. Let's eat Mom for Christmas. Actually, it's coming up next.
It was a little weird. Credit approval. Bad things happen to good people, helping you on the road to good credit with just the right car. Go to utahcreditapproval.com or call them at 801-404-7201. Also brought by Columbus Travel. Columbus Travel has an epic sale on cruises through the 21st of October. You can get a hotel and everything you can imagine just for less than the price you would of simple airfare. You have to talk to them first at columbusvacations.com.
And all Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
Apply today and drive away.
I'm just kidding. It's John with All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Give us a call so that you don't get coal delivered.
All right, welcome back to the Todd and Erin morning stream on GephardtDaily.com. Good Samaritan, State Street, 18th South, the other day at 5 p.m. And a gentleman is driving.
5 p.m., that's like rush hour. You wouldn't think that would even be,
Right.
it would be a problem.
Right. A gentleman is driving down the road, sees a lady laying on the sidewalk by the side of the road. What's he do? What would you do? What would I do? What would Erin do?
We stop, we get out, and we run over to see if we can help.
And then as the gentleman put his car in park and opened it up to run over and see this woman and give aid, car pulls up behind him. A guy runs out with a knife and demands his money. So it was a setup.
That is so sleazy. And it's right at rush hour on State Street. That's the part that kills me. It's like there's a million potential witnesses, and they still did it. I mean, that's so brazen.
Detective Richard Chipping, he just shook his head. And he says, unfortunately, and he goes, it's really weird because during Christmas, things get worse, he said. And you would think that...
Really?
Yeah, and the need for money, I don't know what it is. Or maybe you just hear about it more. But the kind of aggressive crime, that
more brazen
jumping
and just
someone.
harsher. And...
Well, last week there was a lady and she was taken by knife point, I believe it was, to her ATM.
Yeah.
And she withdrew all this money and they ran off. But, he said how sad it is. Because, you stop on the highway and some person, man or woman, is trying to change a tire and having a hard time. Or you can get in there and change it faster.
Well, and that's the thing. I've had things like that happen before where people have stopped to help me, and I've been so incredibly grateful. And what if they looked at it and went, no, this is another setup? This is horrible. When my sister was a diplomat in South Africa, they told them, you never get out of the car, ever. You can call the emergency services, but you sit in the car locked, and they're like, I don't care if they're bleeding out, you don't go out, because that's a very common carjacking thing they do there. But gosh, we're Salt Lake City. And the thing is it's right. I think it's always that balance, that the happier, more joyful you are,
I don't know, yeah.
that there has to be some awful counter effect
Right.
to people who are even more awful. And I'm not sure the logic of it, but it seems like it's that way.
But you can't let that win.
No, of course not.
You can't let that
Not
win.
ever.
Sorry, I'm spending time on my Facebook too much.
All right, now you need to explain this, because this is like
Sit
the
back.
weirdest story ever.
All right, so if you're eating something right now, I want you to put it down and I gently push it off to the side.
Explain.
I'm going to take you to England. I'm going to talk to you about the Christmas dinner. And this is a very sad story. Deborah Parsons lost her mom. And obviously we all know how difficult that would be, or can be. And so she had her mom cremated. Mm-hmm. She keeps her in the house.
Sure.
Which is kind of a nice thing, because you're like...
You feel like you've got a part of your family, your mom with you, sure.
Not close enough, evidently.
What are you talking about?
I don't know how to say this to you. Deborah wanted to feel close to her mom, so...
I'm waiting, because this is...
Every day she has a little spoonful of her. Like Cremora in her coffee or something.
I don't think you're supposed to do that. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like health regulation. So she's sprinkling mom on Christmas dinner?
No, it's every day. She takes a little taste.
Okay.
Now she's planning her Christmas dinner.
I'm a little nauseous right now. Thank you very much.
For her family to come over.
She's not going to sprinkle it on it for the family.
Here's the plan.
Oh my God. People.
She's going to put a dusting. That's my word. And sprinkle it on the turkey and on the pudding. I wonder if she's going to tell
That's
her.
her. That's the
That's
floral
her. That's
arrangement.
Mom.
She was all excited. She's got the urn all laid out.
That's Mom.
And that's apparently what she's putting out as the
Should be
decoration.
right. They should next on either side. It should have salt and pepper on either side.
Okay.
Maybe some hot sauce.
Because even if I were the family and I came over and the urn's sitting on the table, I'd be like, okay, Mom's
Mom's with us.
there's a present, sure. Nice floral
She doesn't
arrangement.
plan to tell them.
You don't think they're going to hear the story now and kind of be aware? What would be her possible logic? Okay, she's twisted. I'm sorry, I'm not going to even sugarcoat that sucker, but why would she do that to them? You can't, like, sneak Mom onto someone's pudding. You can't do that. You have to tell people you're doing things like that. You can't do that.
Something different about the pudding this year.
It's grittier.
It's just like Mom used to make, or still does.
We're going to move on now. I'm getting a little nauseous.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, 5-second rule about food. While we're talking about food and I'm violently nauseous, let's just go right with it.
It talks about.
What is your rule? Like,
Well, first of all,
no, but
before
if-
you go there, 1,000 people were asked by Uber Eats. Another way to get their name out there, obviously.
Doing great.
1,000 people put it out there, and they talked about how people's eating habits are changing. Brunch is going away.
Brunch was a
think that's
lovely
wrong.
meal.
We never go, but we always want to.
We want to go to brunch. It seems like a really nice idea that we would enjoy if we ever,
And
have children.
instead, the 1,000 people, they're tending to go out for a later meal and do stuff like that, but not the brunch thing.
Apparently they don't have children in soccer, so that's good.
Or like Bloody Marys.
So
Okay, next step.
explain.
Okay,
Tell
next
more.
step. Obviously, we know that a lot of places are kind of going to be in danger a little bit with the millennials. Thank
They've
goodness
talked
it's
about
Friday.
this, like the TGI Fridays and like the Chili's and stuff.
Yeah. They're a little more conscious about eating correctly and not going to like a formula kind of restaurant, more local and locally sourced and stuff like that. Thought that was interesting.
I haven't been really surprised they can afford that, but okay, go on.
This is true. 43% of Americans consider themselves picky eaters. And that brings us down to the question.
Please.
This brings you down to the question. 3-second rule. Or is the
3-second or
3-second
5-second?
rule?
I thought it was a 5-second. When
But
BYU did the study, they established it as 5 seconds, and they had
Drop
a
the
test
food on the
pool of
floor.
students. They dropped it and said, who's going to pick it up? Now, interestingly, they did it twice. They did it in front of other people, and then they did it solo. And the percentage of people who would pick it up solo was
Right.
something stupid that was in the 80 percentile.
Right.
People who would pick it up in front of other people was around 50%. Now, for me, it would definitely depend on what it was. If it's like a donut or a cupcake, yeah.
Yeah, lobster's a week and a half.
Yeah, really.
Makes sense, right?
It has time to crawl off
Yeah.
before I catch it. But, yeah.
Here's the question. Have you ever been cooking for other people and maybe dropped the roast? Or the turkey?
My mom did once.
When I was there?
No. Doesn't matter, though. It was perfect. The kitchen floor was clean. It's not like she had to, scrape anything off, but yeah. She brought it out to it funk. We all looked at it, and there's juice going.
I got 15 seconds on most things. Unless it splats. If it splats and it's that wet,
If you have to scoop, I'm not.
shovel,
It's not going
shovel,
back. No.
Yeah, with a spatula.
Yeah.
Watermelon, yeah.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
go.
because see, pieces of it you can still pick it up and
Right.
eat around it, right? It's not like
Right.
you have to eat the parts that are actually.
The big question is, if you're not actually eating that food and you're preparing it for your kids, get a shovel. I don't care. They'll be fine.
You know how many goldfish crackers my kids ate off the carpet?
You know how many goldfish crackers I ate off the cracks in the seats in the cars? And they were from 3 years prior. They weren't smiling.
You know, people already know that we don't have any shame, but I'm not sure you want to keep reinforcing that.
It gets much worse than that. It really does. Where did we get all the French fries?
All right, this doesn't surprise anybody, but as you know, you're getting a tumor from your cell phone. Congratulations, we're done here.
Back up.
No, actually, they just had to release this, and it's very interesting. The study was actually done 8 years ago. So they have known this for 8 years.
Known what?
But the Freedom of Information Act, several press organizations went after the California Department of Public Health because they had done the broadest study regarding cell phones and radiation and blah, blah, blah. Once again, this was 8 years ago. They say, yes, it is they're leaking electromagnetic radiation.
What?
And they say, suggesting keeping your distance when possible. They say there is some concerns amongst public health professionals regarding long-term high-use exposure by the energy emitted by cell phones. Thank you, that's super reassuring. 8 years later, after you knew.
It's too late for
But
us.
here's the part that drives me nuts. They say cell phone manufacturers want you to keep a minimum distance away from your body, and you should find out what that distance is. Has our cell phone company ever, in any interaction or literature presented to us, ever told us what distance we were supposed to be from our cell phones? Ever?
So use the headset, obviously, and you can talk like that.
If you keep the device by your body, you will exceed the safety limits provided by the FCC. But of course, the FCC then went, we don't have any national standards with that, so we can't really.
So if you keep your phone in your bra,
They say do not keep it in your pocket, do not keep it in your bra. And they said that if you are using, interestingly, I didn't know this, they said keep the use low if there's 2 bars or less, because that apparently emits more. And here's one that's really weird. Do not sleep near it at night. And be aware that if you are in a fast-moving car, bus, or train, your phone emits more RF energy to maintain the connection, which makes sense. So they're saying if you can use the headphones and keep it down and keep it away from you like this, that's better, rather than keeping it up by your ear. Do not put it on those little belt things they have, women. And I've only done this twice because I always said I wouldn't, but we do not stick it in our bras. That's not a handy hold-all carrier thing, apparently. But it's just the fact that they've known this for 8 years, and they're like, the cell phone companies will have a minimum distance required for you. Has anyone ever talked to a cell phone representative who went, I'm concerned about the
18
electromagnetic
feet.
pulse.
18 feet would be
So try
safe.
not to do this here. Has anyone ever had anyone share that with you from the cell phone industry?
The interesting thing of being in radio for over 20 years was the fact that
We're already brain damaged?
the FCC came out and just quietly asked everyone, they told everyone, to put a perimeter fence around any transmitter 200 feet out, all the way around, and didn't say why. Now, in most cases, you don't broadcast. Your transmitter isn't by your station. It's actually telegraphed up, and I use that word incorrectly, to a mountain, and that's where the transmitters are, right? And then it goes to all you happy people, 4 of you. And the point being is that the first 15 years of my career, I was about 200 feet from a transmitter.
As I recall, yeah, that's pretty much where you were.
Yeah, at
Right
night my
next
feelings
to it.
glow in the dark.
Vibrate a little.
Yeah, I'm surprised I had kids. I'm surprised that I had a count at all. I had 2, and they're this big. All right, so we coming. What?
Coming up
It's
next.
science.
Coming up next. Okay, we've got the Hollywood connection. Imagine jokingly naming your daughter Beyonce, and the nurse took you seriously.
What?
I'll tell you about it next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you'll find out that you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600. Fink and McGregor, also by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can schedule an appointment and find out some amazing options for pain-free removal of varicose veins and spider veins. Your legs can look great again with the Vein Clinic. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They're experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They also have a brand new store up in Ogden now. If you'd like to reach them, you can go to blackdiamondexperts.com.
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down though if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
All right, we're back. It's the Todd and Erin morning stream here on GepHardDaily.com.
You know what you need? Because this is kind of a new thing. You know what we need? We need a jingle for it.
That's right, because the Hollywood Connection is sponsored by Connect Heating and Air.
Hollywood Connection.
This is what I call the Connect thing.
Okay.
A sponsor.
All right, we're done.
Okay, that was good, though. I liked it.
Thanks.
James Corden, this is actually James Corbin, excuse me. You love him. He does call carpool karaoke.
Oh, by the way, just to interject, he has been taking singing lessons. He's much better, but he has all these incredible
He's
singing
a great
stars
singer, I thought.
in his car. And if you haven't seen it, just go ahead and Google James Corbin, Mariah Carey, and he has got all these stars singing her song. Anyway,
They did the All I Want for Christmas version, and every time he had a new star in there, he would make them sing a clip of it, and so it clips back and forth with like every A-list singer in the entire world. And it's charming.
and
it's
they're
so
doing
cute.
backup and everything.
It's
anyway,
really, really cute.
I digress.
But this kind of surprised me. He's actually married. I thought he was gay, and he's apparently married to a girl. And well, no,
What happened there?
No, I was really surprised. I totally thought he was gay this whole time. He had the whole gay vibe. But anyway, he's not. He's married to a girl. And they just had a baby, Julia. It was this week, as a matter of fact. And he's like, I had a show to tape. There's no way to say that without sounding like a dick. And she's in labor. And Harry Styles, I guess, from One Direction came in and actually hosted for him.
Right.
But so they had their baby girl, and he's crying, and he's all emotional. And the doctor's like, oh, and Julia, his wife's crying, and they're like, oh. And they said, what are you going to name her? And he said, we should name her Beyonce, but the Queen Bee. Because he's joking.
And you're all in that moment.
Because he can't help it.
And the baby is laying on a mom's
he's-
chest, and it's such a special thing.
Apparently, the nurse went out and actually filled out all of the paperwork.
Right.
And did everything. And in England, I guess once everything's set, it's a lot harder to get going through. So last couple of days, they have a lawyer going, wait, we need to fix.
She wrote down Beyonce?
Because he had said it. So they actually have not yet named their poor daughter, but it is not going to be Beyonce. But apparently, still according to the Royal Court of England, it is Beyonce. So that's congratulations.
It'd be Baby Gaga. Because Gaga is a baby word.
That's so adorable.
Goo goo. Gaga.
Box office over the weekend. This is not going to shock anybody. Star Wars, The Last Jedi, $220 million. $220 freaking million. Now, here's the amazing thing. This is actually not the highest grossing one. Star Wars The Force Awakens was actually the highest grossing weekend. They had $248 million. Now, mind you, that is just domestically. That is just here. Around the world, they've already cracked $1 billion. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
I just wonder how much they're going to make on, like, toothbrushes.
Oh, it's always the merchandising. And then, of course, Ferdinand came in at 13.3. Coco, still going strong. They're up to $150 million now.
That movie.
Wonder, which is really sweet. It just cracked $100 million. But it's such a beautiful movie. I hope it does better. Justice League already up at $219 million. That came in the top 5. Thor Ragnarok, by the way, number 6, already at $306 million.
That's so much money. So Star Wars now, before the first of the year, now it's in the Oscars.
Star Wars doesn't get nominated for anything other than like sound or
what?
Oh, they're not going to get nominated for anything like
Why?
acting and stuff. They do sound, and they might get like stunts or scoring or something. Because it goes to all the special people who peel a tangerine and leave it on a table and then spend 2 hours of a movie looking at it because they're special.
More artsy, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is a lesson that I've been taught in this world, and it is just because 8 million people like it doesn't mean it sucks. Because somebody has to be different.
Movie reviewers are so bitter.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
They're just like, they're hard whizzing
Everyone's
people.
loving the movie. The movie, it's a thrill ride from start to finish. And there's always one guy going, what a piece of crap.
Well, Todd and I used to go to the critic screenings, which usually are about a week before, and then you're under a press embargo, so you're not allowed to talk to it till about, say, usually it's 48, 72 hours before the movie opens.
Oh, no.
And we'd be going, this is great! We'd applaud at the end, and there'd be all these bitter old men around us looking at us like, you shouldn't even be here.
Yes.
You're enjoying this.
Oh, you peasant.
We finally just gave up and stopped going because it was too depressing to sit with them anymore.
Erin liked it because they frisk you before you go in for phones and cameras and stuff. Wait, that was me. Anyway. Coming up.
Next break, we're going to be talking about, this is like
The soap.
how it saves lives.
Oh, it's awesome. It's a great
It really
story.
is very cool. But first, we have to go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily newsroom. She is brought to you by Think and McGregor. If you go to think-mcgregor.com, you're going to find all kinds of wonderful mortgage options. And you can get one with a credit score of 600, which is amazing. Think-mcgregor.com. The Vein Clinic, theveinclinic.com. I want you to go there and then set an appointment for the Riverton location. They have amazing literally pain-free methods of getting rid of varicose veins. And believe me, I am the expert in this because I've had so many done. I had a procedure this month and I have never been happier. TheVeinClinic.com. Also by Black Diamond Experts. They are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They also have a brand new place up in Ogden now. BlackDiamondExpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making national and world headlines Monday, December 18th on Gephardt Daily. The juice is back on at the world's busiest airport a day after a power outage stranded thousands at Hartsfield-Jackson International in Atlanta. The outage started with an intense fire in an underground electrical facility, which also knocked out power to a backup system. More than 1,000 flights were postponed or cancelled. The backup affected air travel all across the country. A spokesman for Special Counsel Robert Mueller is denying accusations by Donald Trump's lawyers that Mueller's team got unauthorized access to thousands of transition emails. Trump's transition lawyers wrote to Congress accusing Mueller's team of obtaining unauthorized access to thousands of transition emails in the course of its Russia investigation, including what they claim to be documents protected by attorney-client privilege. Mueller's team shot back Sunday, saying the emails were obtained in the course of their ongoing criminal investigation and was secured through owner's consent or through the appropriate criminal process. And finally, Senator John McCain will miss the vote on the new GOP tax plan. McCain was released from a D.C. hospital Sunday, where he was being treated for side effects of radiation treatment, and chose to return to his home in Arizona to recuperate. McCain is described as frail, but in good spirits. His staff says he fully intends to return to Washington. That's it for now. For more news from across the nation and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. But now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, Black Diamond Experts. I stumbled over the expert, and it always cracks me up because I'm not sure why. Because they are Black Diamond Experts. The reason why is it's electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They make sure that the guys they send out are licensed and bonded and insured, and that they are trained to work on anything in your house, which is why when something goes wrong, these are the guys that you go into your cupboard door, you open it up, and there's a list of people you trust, and you call them, because they will make sure that whatever is messed up gets fixed. Unless like a car ran into your front door. That's got to be something different. But all you have to do is just check with them, and they can come in, they can make sure that everything's set for winter. They can make sure they save you hundreds of dollars in heating bills. If something is not working right, they can fix it for you. But the cool thing is they also have 24/7 emergency service, because there's nothing more fun during the holidays than something exploding in your home. Nothing. And fortunately, they're the guys who will actually get back in their van and they will come up and fix it for you. So it's blackdiamondexpert.com. Make sure you put them on your list of good guys.
All right. Very good. I love this
the soap
story.
saving lives. This is cool.
I love this story. So Cambodia, and there's people over there, and they're working with UNICEF. And one of the huge things, 1 in 5 deaths for children is because of diarrhea, which is because of sanitation. Because these people, these locals, they make
especially these little bodies, yeah.
$1.50 a week, and $1.50 a day. Sorry. And to spend $1 of that on soap, you couldn't feed your family. And the soap that they do use is laundry soap if they can't afford it.
It's a really acidic, abrasive laundry powder. And there was one guy
and there's not enough of it.
America who was watching this, and he's like, he was watching a mom bathe a newborn with a little laundry powder and water, and he's like, this is the worst. You know, and that was the best thing they had.
So here's the deal. This is so good. You go to a hotel. If you're with my daughter, she will take all those little soaps and
all
stuff.
of the toiletries go home with Zoe.
But a lot of people
the rest
don't.
Of us.
A lot of people don't take them. And what they're doing in Cambodia, they go to the hotels now and they gather the soap that has been used.
All of the used stuff, yeah.
And some of the ones that they're going to reuse them in Cambodia. But they get all this stuff, and they have volunteers. And what they do is they take and they melt it back all down, which sanitizes it. And then they make bars out of it. And then they give it to the people to distribute among the other people. Plus, the people who distribute it, they also give them some to sell. So now you've created a business.
So now you have a little industry. You also have like a free service. It's amazing.
And then either they will charge a small amount to the families, or they will do it for free. And because of that, because they've been doing this huge thing on hygiene and just saying, it makes such a difference. and the families can't afford it. I mean, this is just huge.
To us,
And
I mean, we were all like,
recycling.
we all have gallons of hand sanitizer, and we're like this, and hey, kids, and there's soap
Right.
everywhere. There's soap everywhere, water everywhere. But for these people, I mean, for a lot of them, if you have to carry water every day, just carrying the water to your house to be able to be used, and then saying, there's not the availability of that stuff, and you think about something that simple killing that many children.
That is such a cool story.
That's a gorgeous story.
Something that was going in the trash now saving lives.
That was slick, baby.
That
All
was
right.
the iPad.
Coming up next, everybody's puking on the Royal Caribbean.
Yay.
We'll tell you all about it coming up next.
Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's a short 4-minute quiz, and at the end of it, you can find a whole array of mortgage options, and someone will call you back from Fink and McGregor within the next business day. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Go to utahcreditapproval.com because they know that bad things happen to good people, but that shouldn't stop you from repairing your credit and getting a reliable automobile at utahcreditapproval.com. And also all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. John has 24/7 service because he knows that emergencies can happen any time of the day or night. And right now they have a $69 special to check out all your heating systems to make sure they're working well. Just go to allutahplumbing.com.
A 3-hour tour.
Well, actually, we're going to start with this. Miss Israel and Miss Iraq.
Right.
Well, now this is funny. Anyone who's done beauty pageants, you actually do get pretty close with some of the other contestants because it's a really high pressure situation. You're in there together.
All right.
Now picture an international pageant where you have women from all over the world.
Right.
If there's language difficulties or maybe you don't quite understand each other very well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Miss Iraq and Miss Israel were waiting for the Miss World pageant, and they were sitting around backstage noodling around, and they were all dressed up and they're pretty. And Sarah Indan, who's Miss Iraq, turned to Adar Gandelson, who's Miss Israel, said, "Hey, let's take a selfie. I want to put it on Instagram."
Sure.
So they put the picture up, and it's beautiful. If you take a look at the picture, the girls are just adorable.
Okay.
They got a big smile, and she said, let's show that we don't have a problem. We're ambassadors for peace, and they're both all happy. So there's a happy, smiling picture of the two of them.
Nice.
And she said, and on the caption, she wrote, "Peace and love from Miss Iraq and Miss Israel." I don't know if you
How'd
could
that go
post that,
over?
Richard. So she woke up the next morning, and there were death threats from the Miss Iraq organization telling her to take down the photo or she'd be stripped of her title. She then found out her mother called and started crying, saying that people have been throwing rocks at our house, and we've had death threats because of what has happened. And then over on the Israel side, Miss Israel found out from her organization that it had to be taken down too, and that she had to apologize for taking a picture with Miss Iraq. So you actually got death threats because you stood next to another nice, pretty girl, and you took a picture together showing that you liked each other. And this is where we're back still in the state of the world in the Middle East. And both girls were just like, they were threatening my family because I took a nice picture. And look how pretty they are. They're just doing this cute little picture together. And this was enough to actually rouse death threats from both sides of their countries.
Yeah. I'm surprised anybody still watches beauty pageants.
And that's the one thing you think there wouldn't be enough attention to worry about it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I just thought that was so sad. But in any case, she said, since then, Sarah from Miss Iraq said, since then the government's been kind of scary quiet. So I haven't said anything more.
Right.
But she says, I don't regret it. But that's so sad.
That is sad. All right, Gilligan's Island time.
This is the second time.
Oh, no.
In less than a month.
Oh, okay.
In less than a month.
This has been going on. You've been hearing more and more and more and more about this, but...
I thought the Royal Caribbean was one of the nicer cruise lines. More than 300 passengers became ill on the cruise out of Florida last week. Second time in less than a month. The sickness swept through the passengers and crew. And this is the sad part, because you have to remember, it's not just the passengers, it's the crew. So when you're lying there and you're like, all of your body fluids have left your body, and you're calling for help, the crew is lying on the hallway going, I can't help you. And
one of the reasons this happens is because when someone handles food, they handle hundreds of people's food every sitting, right?
Yeah.
So if they're the one putting the tomatoes in the salad, they do that for thousands of people, the same hands grabbing the tomatoes.
300 people, though.
300 people.
And they said, the wait for medical assistance was 4 hours. But you don't have a really big medical crew.
There's nothing they can do except hand you a cork. I recently had food poisoning. What? Maybe 2. It is the worst. I mean, I think I threw up a toenail. I think I broke a rib. And there is nothing anyone can do for you. So when they say there was a 4-hour wait, there was a 4-hour wait for nothing. Nothing to happen.
We have extra sharp cheddar cheese.
Are you saying that this will help their stomachs?
Are you saying the show is cheesy this morning? I think it's cheesy this. So anyway, one woman, Marcia, was talking about it to one of the passengers. She goes, "We were standing in the elevator, and everyone was throwing up in the elevator. It was splashing everywhere." She said that made everybody else throw up. Even people who weren't sick, who were trying to help us too, the doctors were throwing up.
Oh my gosh.
That is so awful.
So instead of a buffet, it was a buffet.
All right, so where we're going...
That was funny, by
It was
the way.
pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, while we're going gross, why don't you do the next story?
Okay. Every once in a while, here in Salt Lake, do you remember the story? Then there was a smell.
You have a better sense of smell than I do, I think, because you
Not
notice
today.
stuff I don't really notice.
I have a cold.
Well, yeah, but you usually notice stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
This I can smell.
Tell me.
This story. Well, and it's happened here. Remember there was that mysterious odor in Salt Lake City? It's happened 3 different times. And
everyone gets paranoid and you're like,
what's going on? What's going on? Yeah.
Well, isn't that the first thing you ever do? You're like, don't you want, like I am.
So anyway, North Carolina, there is a town. And the town smells like cat pee.
That is the worst thing ever.
I am really sensitive to the U word. I can, if there's a dog, if there's a cat,
yeah, you can.
if there's a kid from paces away, that kid needs a change right there. And so doesn't Granddad. You need to take care of that. The town smells like cat pee. Now, I will say this.
All right.
If I remember correctly, that a meth lab smells like cat. Hang on, Richard knows. Hey, Richard, does a meth lab smell like cat pee?
I don't know.
Oh, very convincing, by the way. I don't know. All right, just checking. So they still don't know why, and they think it's a couple of companies and the chemicals mix in the air and do this.
But they can't pin it down and they can't stop it.
No.
So basically, you wake up every morning and you smell cat pee. Yeah. That's horrible.
Yeah, there's a local issue that's going on. It's by the Ace Hardware and Trader Joe's down on 7th
South and about
5th South.
Yeah.
What's the name of the bread company there?
Winder.
Is it Winder or Harvest or whatever?
Oh, Harvest Bakery.
All right. So there is a very badly placed sewer cap in front of the door of this place. So you're getting out of your car and you're like, dun, 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 gonna have some bread, dun, 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 maybe a pastry, dun, 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 and then you hit it. And it's like hitting a wall of a sewer pipe.
It is brutal.
And then you walk in to eat. And I remember there was a guy with a badge on outside the store once, and they were talking about it, and I just happened to hear it, and I went up and I said, it's a manhole cover, right, and it's got some holes on it, right, and that's where it's coming up, and I said, there's an Ace Hardware store right.
You could get some putty.
Right next door.
Slick that sucker
get some
right over.
silicone and just seal this sucker up and everything would be fine. Evidently, my idea wasn't good enough for them. Now their store smells like poo.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we go today, let's take a cleansing breath because, and number one, don't forget, make sure that you sign up for Christopher's by making a comment on the show today on Facebook because we want to make sure that you're taken care of. And we've got some new stuff coming up, too. There's a new restaurant that's doing lunches for 10, so you can drag your whole office in.
Oh, cool.
And then it's like you can suck up to your boss. It's very exciting.
We'll
be doing those starting next week.
When you were a reporter during a hurricane, your shirt got ripped off.
Yes, it did.
We've seen other reporters on television get attacked by animals, which isn't good.
And there's always the guys behind going, ah,
Right.
you know, and you're still trying to broadcast going, I'm just going to keep a straight face.
Those are funny when they do
Those
that.
actually are pretty good.
Okay, so there is a danger that there's something that comes with the territory.
Now, this girl is the most adorable little thing. It's Wisconsin, and her name's Amy DuPont, and she's just so adorable.
Look at her.
that cute little face. And this is what happens is Amy's lining up for a live shot.
Show them the next shot. Boom.
Oh, come on, I want the full video. That's not
No,
as
we
cute.
don't have. We have singles.
Oh, all right.
All right.
That's too
But
bad.
how does she cry? Does she swear like a sailor?
She's already live, though, and that's the sad part. So she's sitting here, and the cameraman comes up, and he's like trying to wipe off her face so she can finish.
And she's still smiling.
I just want to know who nailed her, because that was a well-placed snowball.
When's the last time you got hit by a snowball?
Oh, man, it's you.
Right.
No, it was you dick. I was like a couple of years ago. I remember you hit me right in the back of the head, and Zoe's laughing. I remember now.
So you have to let Zoe hit you, but not her.
No, you hit you through the snowball. It was not Zoe.
I didn't think it would hit you.
You suck.
I don't think.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much. Don't forget you can watch this any time of the day or night.
I need the action cam.
Oh, yeah, because that makes it more
Right.
actionable.
Yes. All right. Now say goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right.
I know, he's very excited about his toys. I apologize.
Action cam, action cam. Who's got action? The action cam does. Oh, look at this. Oh, for you people thinking about sausages this morning, and I'm talking about the food, there it is. You know, we run on cholesterol. I don't know if you knew that.
Prison knives.
Prison
knives.
Prison knives, they're plastic. All right, we'll see you later, guys. Look, we have mountains.